My job involves traveling. How can I perform sadhana? I think it's a very relevant question to most people. One way or the other, we have to travel, most of us, some don't. So we will cover this, and it's written in the book as well in detail, but there are different kinds of sadhanas. If you are doing what we called Nitya karma, Nitya karma is what you go, for example, you go to a school and you mark your presence. That's Nitya karma. Nitya means daily or routine, and karma is action. So when you are doing Gayatri Mantra Japa, let's say just one round every day, if you do it in your mind, it won't take you 20 minutes like it did now. It will take you a bit less. Then you can do it anywhere. You can do it in your hotel room, you can do it even while driving, you can do it on a plane, you can do it anywhere with or without beads. If you are doing what we call the second kind of action called naimittika karma, naimittika is towards some cause, nimitta, towards some medium or with a view, with a certain objective in mind, then we do what we call purascharana. And purascharana is the basis of invocation of any mantra, not just Gayatri Mantra. And in this camp, you will learn how to do purascharana, in fact. If you are doing purascharana, then I have to segregate a bit. If your guru has given you the mantra, then he or she might have also given you the instruction what to do in the event that you are traveling. But if you are doing it, let's say from this book, and doing it on your own, and you want to invoke the energy on your own, in that case, you can make your own framework. You can make your own rule. Ideally, when you invoke any energy in purascharana, because it is training of the mind. In the olden days, gurus will not authorize any disciple to do purascharana unless they are done nitya karma for anywhere between 8 and 12 years. So only after that they'll say, okay, now you have the discipline to sit still, you have the discipline to focus, so I will give you the science of invocation. If you're doing it on your own through some book or something, then ideally, as I was saying, you need to sit at the same place, same time, every single day for the duration you commit. So when you are, let's say you decide to do 100,000 japa, and you say, I am going to do it in, for argument's sake, 40 days. Which means you will do 2,500 count every single day. In an ideal world, you need to start at the same time every day. Because remember, we are training your mind to operate in a certain fashion. Everything will stem from that. Now, if you're traveling, do the best you can. That's all I'll say then. Don't break completely in between. Do the best you can. Maybe you can just chant some in your room or on the plane or on your flight and so on. Do the best you can, but give your heart, mind, soul, everything to when you do the invocation. Because it's very simple at the end of the day. If you keep on chanting and don't get the benefits, then my being here is worthless, and your being here is pointless, and us spending this time here is absolutely useless. My goal is that by the time tomorrow comes, evening comes, you would have done this camp, when you go back and chant and invoke, you should actually see noticeable benefits in your life. If those benefits don't come in mantra sadhana, then it's a waste of time. And they will only come if you really focus on the quality of your practice. So how much time you put in, it is entirely up to you. Having said that, if you are not going to put in the time, results will not come. Results will not come by reading my books. Results will not come by attending my camps. Results will not come by dreaming about sadhana. Results will not come by wanting to be Vishwamitra or Vasishtha. Results will come by actually doing it. And it may sound demotivating or daunting, but the first few years, you won't even have an idea what's going on. It will take you like 5 to 7 years to really just get a handle on the basics of sadhana. Or if you are only chanting for 10 minutes a day, I'm not saying 5 to 7 years. It's the wrong way to put it, actually. What I mean to say is, it will take you at least 2,000 to 3,000 hours just to get a grip on how to do it effectively. When you will do the sadhana, you will discover your own method. And that is the key. I will walk you through all the steps, all 36. But you may discover that you actually don't need to do all 36. I heard there was this little girl who used to live on an island. And it was said of her that nobody taught her anything, and yet she used to chant beautiful mantras. She used to read scriptures, she read Sahasranama, Vedas, and a very elite Pandit, Brahmin, found out in the village that this girl, nobody has taught her. She's living on an island, she's perhaps a fisherman's daughter, and she is chanting mantras on her own. He thinks to himself, I must go and teach this girl properly, because God knows what all she is saying. And he takes a boat, gets down to the island, and sure indeed, he is hearing chants. And he is now feeling nervous because she is doing all wrong. This is not how you chant, he thought to himself. He went running. It's not easy to run if you're wearing a dhoti, but nevertheless, anyway, he ran and went to the girl, and he shook her, stopped her from chanting, and said, what are you doing? She said, oh, Panditji. And she did pranam and said, I'm chanting. What are you chanting? He said, I'm chanting the names of Mother Divine. You're doing it all wrong. He said, this is not how you do it. She said, oh, I'm sorry, I made a grave mistake, some sin. There are 36 steps, he said, in proper invocation. I'll teach you all those. So he sat down and made her make notes. And she started writing down what all this Vedic scholar was telling her. And then in the end, he said, now have you understood? She said, yes. And then he took the boat back. As soon as he disembarked from the boat, he sees that he's hearing this little girl's voice from behind saying, Panditji, one question. And he turned around and sees the girl just right there. He said, okay, what's the question? And she said, what do we do in step number 6? And I had some confusion about that. He said, this is how you do it. But hang on a minute. How did you get here? There was only one boat, and I took it. She said, I just chanted Mother's name and I ran on water. And I thought, I had to get this right because Mother would not like it if I do it wrong. He said, it is me who has to seek knowledge from you, the scholar said. Because I just kept my focus on chanting throughout my life, and yet I had to take a boat to get to you. And here, with your sheer faith and devotion alone, you just ran across the water. Clearly, I am missing something, he said. And that's what I mean, that you are going to discover your own method. There is no one singular right or wrong way of doing it. My job is to give you the tools, 1, 2, share with you the method that worked for me, and 3, give you what the scriptural injunctions are on the current matter. After that, it's up to you to tweak it and to create out of that your own process. But one small word of caution. As they say, rules are meant to be broken after you have championed them. So feel free to break the rules, but first understand what those rules are. First practice them, master them, and then you can say, oh, I don't need to do this. I'm very pure. I don't need to do purification, for example. Whatever, So if your job involves traveling, do the best you can, but don't break it just because you are traveling. Fine, you're extremely tired and it's 11 p.m. and you just spend the last 3 hours on the net surfing and reading pointless articles and so on, and you're very tired and you just cannot stay awake anymore. Can you do for 5 minutes? Rather than skipping it completely, can you just chant for 7 minutes and then go to bed? Don't miss it, don't skip it, do the best you can. Why is long form Gayatri not as frequently chanted, taught as a short form popular Gayatri? Is long form more powerful? In fact, that's not true. The long form of Gayatri, in fact, is Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. That's one verse in Rig Veda. The long form is Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. The longer form is Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Jana Satya Tapa Maha, and then Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. And then you have Mahamrityunjaya Mantra, which is the longest form. So which combines Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Om Trimbakam Yajamahe Tat Savitur Varenyam, and then combines Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. It combines two mantra Om Hong Jung Se. Seed syllables come in the beginning. But the purest Gayatri mantra in its entirety is Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. And this is not the forum, but you can also chant Gayatri mantra on your chakras, which brings different. So I could be going Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. I could go chakra lower. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. I could go chakra lower. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Or even lower. So that is something that will come with practice, and that's something, if you want to meditate on the energy of the mantra on your chakras, if you want to build intuition and health, physical health, you could chant Gayatri mantra on your Manipur chakra, solar plexus, navel, belly button. If you want to build calmness in your heart and bit of peace and bliss, you could meditate on Gayatri mantra on your heart chakra, Anahat chakra. So you could imagine Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. If you want sharper vision, I don't want to use the word clairvoyance, but something like that, or if you want to tap into other forms of consciousness, if you want to experience astral travel and other fancy things like that, then meditate here on your brow chakra, Agya chakra. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. And each kind of meditation will give you different results. Can we do a purascharana again even if it's done previously? Absolutely. Keep doing it till you succeed. You can do a purascharana many times. Do it once, you don't get the results, do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again. Japet siddhi, japet siddhi, japet siddhi bhavet. If you don't succeed once, don't tell anybody. If you don't succeed, then just do it again. I'm just joking. It means that keep doing it. Why this figure of 100,000 japa or 24 lakhs, 2.4 million japa and so on? The idea is that there would be some point in that, with some time when you will actually get it. When the bulb in your head will go on, I got it, this is how I'm going to get it. The odds are much better if you do it many, many times. In fact, Nitya karma, the reason gurus or sages would earlier ask people to do it for very long years and years was that when they actually get into purascharana, they would be really ready to chant. And today, because we are doing purascharana from the beginning, so I would be very surprised if you succeeded in the first attempt. I'm assuming you will do it at least 5 to 10 times. The main purascharana that I did, and I've shared this in the past as well. So my chanting of that mantra was 2.4 crores. That is 24 million times I chanted it. And my view was very simple. Out of that, there must be some point when I'll get it right. You know, in cricket, for example, the bowler only has to get one ball right, and he or she gets the wicket. You have to keep defending as a what do you call, batsman, and you'll have to keep hitting and so on. But as a bowler, you only have to get your target just once right. You may bowl, I don't know how it works really these days, but let's say you bowl 10 overs, 60 balls, yeah. And you only have to get one right to get one wicket. So you will keep chanting. The moment you get a spark, you know, on one of your chakras or in your body, the moment you get a spark, you'll know, okay, I have to retain that state. And from that moment on, things will improve in your practice. And the day things improve, things will take a better shape. It's simple as that. Why is there separation in the first place? And why such a specific technique to realize God? I think if I give you the impression that there is a specific technique, then I am doing injustice. There is no technique. There is no method. All I'm saying is there are ways to train yourself. If you are somebody who doesn't believe in the existence of God, you could just do pure meditation. If you're somebody who doesn't even believe in consciousness, you could just do yoga, stretch your limbs and feel on top of the world and feel good about that. If you're somebody who believes in God, then maybe you need to then take a different view. Chanting could take you closer to yourself, the divine energy that is in you. And that separation is there because of conditioning, beliefs, and desires, for which you are to be blamed only maybe 10%. Your parents, 60%, and society, 30%. Really, whatever you know right now, somebody has told you. How do you know what you know? Socrates said it's the most important question any person can ask. How do you know what you actually do know? What if what you heard was wrong? Where would that truth stand? So the idea is to uncover yourself, unlayer yourself, and this is just simply training the mind. If you want to play piano, for example, you don't have to have a teacher, you don't have to develop your own technique. You may even be able to play some stuff. But if you build your foundation on a technique, you can play a lot more. You can branch out if you have first mastered the basics.